All right, hello, this is Aaron with the Sprinter van for sale. Just wanted to give you a little video tour here. I'm up in the Redwoods in Santa Cruz Mountains, and it's between storms, so it's kind of got a nice little break. I guess we'll just start below the hood. Might as well, huh? I always hook up this charger to just keep the auxiliary battery charged when it's not sunny out. The solar panel keeps it charged in the sun, but when there's no sun, I just hook this up at home. So here's a brand new, or well, pretty new, I mean 6 months old, truck battery. Here's an isolator. I got one of the biggest, baddest isolators I can get. This isolates this battery from the auxiliary battery, so when the engine runs, it charges both batteries, but they won't drain each other. This intake manifold here is brand new. It was actually a recall. It didn't cost me any money, but that's, new. It's pretty rad. This is the EGR valve. I was misdiagnosed when I had problems with the turbo. They told me this needed to be replaced. It didn't, but I replaced it anyways. It's a $900 part. Can you believe it? Can't believe it. This turbo hose is replaced within the last 6 months or so. All the fuel lines have been replaced in here. There's this O-ring in here. When I first got it, there was a problem with the air in the fuel, which screws, the engine won't run. It's all messed up. So all the fuel lines are replaced. It's a major project, and that problem is gone. So got that worked out for you. This is the mass airflow sensor, another expensive part. I don't know, hundreds of dollars, 400 bucks, whatever. I replaced this whole unit. The air filter has been replaced. The cabin air filter has been replaced. The oil is always changed every 6,000 to 8,000 miles. I change the oil, and the oil filter always gets changed, and the fuel filter has been changed several times. So the filters I always maintain, take care of all that. There's another turbo hose down there that was replaced. The starter's new. I don't know, whatever. I'll make a list of all that crap. That's all I can think of right now. There was a lot of stuff we did to it. So here is the cabin. Well, we'll go to the back. I'm jumping around here. Are we recording? All right, we're recording. Oh, so yeah, here it is, man. This thing has been quite an adventure. It is so much more work to convert one of these than I ever imagined. And it's funny looking at it. You're kind of like, oh, well, yeah, it looks pretty, simple, pretty basic, right? And dude, to get to here has been like an adventure. It's taken me way more trips to the hardware store, and every day it's 200 bucks just at Home Depot for whatever. I don't even know what. But anyway, so here we've got this on-demand outdoor hot water shower. This is one of the coolest things. You stand out here and shower off. It's awesome. It heats with propane. There's a battery, a little tiny battery that ignites it. Propane pumps it, and then the hot water pumps from the tank. Sorry, my phone. I used to have a big propane tank in here, and now I'm just running it off this 1 pound. Simple, easy. I know it's a waste. I'd rather have a 5-gallon, but you're not supposed to have a 5-gallon inside the vehicle. And to mount it on the outside and plumb it I tried. It was a nightmare. I even bought that tank, was gonna mount at the bottom, and it was so hard. So anyways, this is really convenient. I just, I ended up doing with the doors was, I just made an executive decision, and I spray painted the inside of these black, insulated it, and walled them up. All the windows have been walled and insulated. I really prefer it. If you when I'm camping or hanging out, I open the dours. And then that way at night, cops can't shine the light through. There's no light that comes through the vehicle. It's completely secure. No one can see what's in here. I was just going through my insurance for my insurance claim for renter's insurance, and I probably had over $50,000 with the bikes and paragliders and gear in here, and never once felt, I'd always felt super comfortable with that. Also, it comes with this. This was cool. When I got it, it had this already. This Super Bomber Master Lock. So if you're at the trailhead, you're at the trailhead and you got all your gear in here and you're going to go hike backcountry for a few days, you've got this bomber lock system, which, not a huge deal, but it's kind of nice. I dig it. So yeah, so the van locks plus that. Speaking of the van locks, there are these vans. I got friends of the same year, and everyone has problems with the locks. I don't know why. Maybe we'll take it to the dealer, have them fix it, but it's funky. It locks, but it kind of got to do a lock, unlock, lock again, then it locks. And the key fob, I don't have a key fob for it anymore. It all died. I have the chip, and so if you want to spend money and take it in and get that dialed, you can. Right now it's a little funky. It works and locks, but it's a little funky. Forgot about that. So here's a tour. I made this thing so it comes up. Not all the time, but There you go. So that way you just have literal access to your tools and storage under there, and then you can put stuff on top of here when you want. Those cabinet doors are made to all come down. They don't right now. The lower ones all flip down. I gotta fix a latch for that. But I really like this style of being able to access stuff so things won't fall out. You can stack this up with bags and packs, and you don't have to worry about doors or cabinet doors swinging open or coming undone or whatever. And it's kind of cool. Like my stuff, I don't know, I like being able to see everything and kind of organize it in that way. So it's kind of been I've been using these bike tubes to kind of just strap. If you want to like stick bags here, you can kind of strap and have extra storage. And yeah, that's pretty much been it. Here is more. This was kind of ended up being pantry space. I put these dividers in here for canned food. Oh, I put these little lights. I never really use those. These are the solar panel cables that I kind of just ran behind the cabinets here. Yeah, so this is all pantry space. I ended up using this for laundry, just stuffing all my dirty laundry under here, and extra storage in here. And down here I had my juicer and a Vitamixer. I've got a 5,000 watt inverter, which will run pretty much anything. I don't know what I was thinking. I just went as big as I could with everything I had. My priorities was the sink. I wanted a nice big sink. I can easily do dishes. A nice big fridge. I always have cold food. And gear storage. So I was kind of thinking in the beginning, like, this would be the garage back here, and then this would be the apartment, the party, business in the back, party in the front, kind of thing. Was my original thought. And it's a big deal having both your bikes in here. This holds a mountain bike. It's got the through axle mount, which you can change if you don't have that. Yeah, and I'm an extra large. I'm 6'3". I'm an extra large frame. So both my bikes fit inside the van. That was a big deal for me. I didn't want them on the outside. The layout of the van was kind of around having my bikes in here. So if you don't want that or need that, this can come out easily. Well, I don't know about easily, but it'll come out. And this is a ton of space. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with. I mean, tons of space opportunity here for cabinetry. I was going to put more cabinets in here. Tons more potential there. And but yeah, I wanted my bikes in here, so that was why there was that reason. And then also, I like this dual purpose space for the couch. It can be a social hangout zone. Man, I haven't stopped talking. Take a breath. But during the day, you can have a couch. Throw your stuff on here. People can come hang out. The door's open. When the door's open, people are hanging out. It's like really cool. When there's just a bed, kind of back in here, it's like, oh, you're gonna crawl in your bed, and that space seems to be only used as a bed. Where this is used as a couch, social area, changing, naps, and I really love to just sit here and chill, with the door open. It could be snowing, or it could be a thunderstorm, or you could just sit here. There's been so many times where I park at the beach for sunset, have a bottle of wine with your girl or her friends or both, and we all just sit here and watch the sunset, and you're looking out the door at the sunset. So this layout is really, really cool. When the bed is in the back, you can open the back doors, but how often is that facing the sunset? It's usually facing the road, right, when you pull in. So anyways, I've noticed the back being much more exposed to traffic and people, and like when you park places, even showering back there is kind of like, if you showered over here, a lot more private. You can park and be more private and have your space facing the lake or the water or whatever. And I really like this layout. I mean, at festivals, music festivals, oh my God, so many stories. You can put a curtain over here and this becomes party zone. It's super fun. Yeah, I mean, this is the zoom. I took a bunch of pictures of the fridge. This fridge is awesome. I had put in a propane fridge and it just didn't work. Huge lesson learned. $800 propane fridge. Oh yeah, check this out. Sorry, one sec here. This is the stove. This is really cool. This is my own little invention. I think it's pretty cool because you're almost always off balance. And it just cracked. I gotta fix that there. Maybe get a new piece of wood for it. But you're almost always off level. So with this system, you can level it, and your eggs and your food will cook evenly. So that's pretty nice. So you got a nice like stove top. You can cook, chop here. You can sit. A lot of times I'll sit here with the cutting board, and I can sit here and you got your sink, and you can prep stuff here and chop and cook, and people can hang out and help you and have a beer, and it's like, hey, have a cold beer, and yeah, so that's kind of works out pretty sweet. I dig it. I wasn't planning on selling this thing. I was putting a lot. Oh, and these are the cabinets. Yeah, these are my do-it-yourself drawers. Do you like it? It was my first time making drawers. They're a little rough, but kind of cool. You know, it's kind of cool to have a simple, just the friction keeps them in there. I was gonna have like a lip, but I didn't realize I didn't need one. Just the friction, they kind of bind itself, so you kind of wiggle and they come out. Easy enough to come out, but hard enough not to come out when you don't want it to. And then also, I put my pots and pans in here. I had like cast iron, and I had a pressure cooker in there, and all that kind of stuff. And under here was just kind of like storage, like stuff I didn't use as much. What else? This just zips up like this if you want it out of the way. And it doesn't rattle, which is nice when you drive. It doesn't make a noise. Yeah, and I mean, these are just seat covers. They're not leather. I wanted some black leather seats in here, but they're really hard to find. But these worked out pretty sweet, pretty nice. This thing's kind of trashed, but it works. You can adjust it and have an armrest. I put on this real nice leather steering wheel cover. That was a pretty cool deal. You had to like stitch it on, and just nice. Feels good to have that. It was underneath. This was gross. It was kind of like this condition. It was pretty gross to touch. So that's a nice touch there. Oh, the stereo is totally screwed. I got the stock stereo speakers were awful. The first thing I did when I bought this thing was spent $500 on Amazon on speakers and stereos, and I never got it hooked up. There's an amp down here. Here's the amp. I got a sub. I got 4 6x9s. I got speaker boxes. Like, oh my god, I got all the wires, all the cables. So that'll come with the van if you want to take it in. And I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to mount the speakers, but anyways, it's undone. The stereo is, and that thing was, I don't know, it was expensive. It was a couple, $200-300 stereo with, anyway, I just never finished that. So it is kind of an unfinished project. What else do you want to know? The light switch is here. Lights go off and on, and there's another switch here for this one. I just had that one separate. Yeah, so shoot me your questions. I'm up here. I don't know if you can see. I just have baskets for clothes, and I didn't finish the wood behind here because I thought I was thinking about covering this up. I wasn't sure what I was going to do yet here. Whether I was going to cover this up or how I wanted to do it, but I could easily finish putting the wood in there. I hadn't decided what I wanted to do yet there. And same with the propane. With the propane stove, this goes to a 1-pound propane bottle underneath here. So originally I had a 5-gallon propane tank in here, but then you got to plumb all these hoses, and it's laying all over the place, or it's really a big hassle. So I found the 1 pound is easy. It works well. I know it's wasteful. I don't like that part of it. There's just no way around it. I found these refillable adapters. You could refill them, but I never could make that work either. So seems to be simple. I don't use a ton of propane cooking and showering. Those will last. I mean, unless you use it every day. I don't know. I haven't changed them in a long time, but I haven't used them much either. This is cool. Check this out. So once the van is all closed up, this is the door here. Oh, I got to put this handle back on. That's the door. And then once you close these curtains, I put a cable in here, and I just grabbed out these magnets. Look at all these magnets I got. These magnets, and you just magnet this thing, and it totally shuts out all the light, so no one can see in here, and no one can see that you're in here, and it's a big deal. I mean, cops will harass you. They'll shine their lights through your window and tell you got to move, and the trick to that is, just park legally. Of course, that's what I'm going to say, because this is a video going online. Just park legally, wink, wink, and talk to me about that later. I can help you find legal parking spaces. Yeah, ask me about that if you're worried about parking. I made this vehicle to be very private, very secure, and very on the DL, so you can park it legally and not get harassed. And what else? Oh, the solar panel. You want to see the solar panel? I got 320 watt solar panel on this thing. This is going to be awesome because I can't see it. There you go. 320 watts, and that goes under the bed. And I think I took pictures of under the bed. The bed lifts up, and there's an extra battery under there. And when, you're in Tahoe in the summertime and it's sunny, and that solar panel will charge the battery, and that battery will run this fridge, which is so sick. You just don't even know how long I've been wanting a system like that. I've had so many systems that just fail, and ice melts. And here's under the bed. And here's the mattress. It's kind of this, you know, it's like a, I don't know, that thick. It's pretty good. You can use with these slats and stuff, you could use maybe a little something extra thickness, or it works pretty good. I'm 200 pounds, I sleep on it. You can kind of feel the slats through it, but as soon as I'll put a piece of plywood under there to kind of smooth it out, and then it's a lot better. But there you have it, guys. That's all I can think of right now. These all-terrain tires and the dual wheels with the load are incredible in the snow. I just am so proud. I love to ski, and it's the first non-four-wheel drive vehicle I've ever owned. And it did really, really good in the snow, although they still make you chain up because it's two-wheel drive, which sucks, but you don't really need to. If you're out in like Montana or Wyoming, you'll be really good until it gets real. If it gets super steep and slippery and wet, then you might need chains. But on normal highways, you're golden. Golden. And oh yeah, the rust. So this, when I bought it, it was like this. Unfortunately, there's rust here around the windshield. So this windshield needs to be replaced. I bought it this way. I've been suffering with it. It sucks. I cannot wait to get this fixed. But basically, they're going to pop out the windshield and they're going to re-bondo all this rust around here. It's a pretty big project. That needs to be done. So I'm going to knock that off the price. And also, the turbo needs to be done, which, yeah, I bought a cheap turbo and it was junk. So you're going to have to buy an OEM Mercedes turbo, the $1,200. I'll give you a link and knock that off the price too, because the turbo needs to be replaced. So this vent I installed for the propane refrigerator, which got deleted. So that could be, if you were so inclined, you could take this off and bondo it. And really, the van needs to be painted. This is a little bit of rust starting to happen here. You need to go around and sand these spots down. There's a little bit of rust in this just starting, you know. It's just, and it's pretty notorious. Like here, it's not a deal breaker. The van's not rusted out. It just needs to be maintained. And these vans are, I don't know why they did such a cheap job on the paint. Look, there's just little bits of rust. Like here, and like up here is a little, you know, just kind of wear there. So yeah, the next 10 years, it's gonna need a paint job and to be, you know, given some TLC. This side looks a little better. I think there was just some dents over there that caused that. But there was another, I had a furnace here, a heater. And so there's another hole, it's a circular hole right here that I patched with this kind of a Band-Aid patch. So it does, it needs a little bit of body work. If you wanted it, you know, it doesn't need it, but if you wanted it to be like normal, it's fine the way it is. There's no water leaks, everything's tight. Yeah, I painted this, the fenders and this bottom part, I painted with truck bed liner, and you can see there's still a little bit of tape. I forgot to pull the masking, sorry, right away, but I got most of it off, but there's still a little bit of masking tape around it. But yeah, and there's little, you know, like little dings like this. Like this is dinged, painted the bumper, and this is body damage here. I gotta pull this off still. This was bumming me out. You know, I bought it, it was all like that when I bought it, you know. So I've been taking really good care of it, and there's just a few things like that when I first got it that I haven't had the money to fix. But yeah, man, make me an offer. I mean, I don't, you know, I want to do what's fair. I feel like emotionally and just the last 2 years of work and time and money and all my spare time, instead of going on trips, I'm working on the van. All my extra money, I'm going to the van. So I've got, I mean, off the top of my head, at least over 20 grand sunk into the thing just in money, you know, not to include like my labor and time and all that stuff. So I don't know. I feel like 20 is a really fair price. I put 25 up there because I knew it still needs the windshield and the turbo done. You know, I don't know, whatever people want to offer. I'm kind of in a big life transition. Oh yeah, and I was telling you that I was planning on keeping this thing and putting money into it and just continuing to make it what I want and make it awesome. And one of the biggest things, the reality that I'm learning here, and I knew this in the beginning, but I'm 6'3", and I can't quite stand up. I don't know if you can see this. I can't quite stand up in here. I'm kind of hunched over. And for me to get up in here and cook and like live in here and, you know, really like grab stuff and spend time cooking in here, it's just, it's a little too low. This is the main deal breaker that people told me, like guys warned me about, like, dude, can you stand up in it? I'm like, yeah, I can stand up, like mostly. You know, when it was metal to metal, I could stand up exactly. But once I insulated the roof, I insulated the whole thing, by the way. Insulated the roof, insulated the floor. It's got bamboo floor all the way throughout. This has been, I'm realizing, like, the newer ones have a super high roof that I can stand up in. And right now with my life, like, I need the money. I'm going to use the money to move, and I'm just going to, like, kind of ground down, buy, like, a car, live in a house, and be normal. And so it's just time. It's time for me to move on. And this was the biggest reason why I'm deciding to move on. Oh, yeah, I want to show you one other thing. It's really cool. Let me put my shoes on here. Hold on. Sorry, it's all wet and needly out here. So this is pretty cool. Check this out. So I spent a lot of time when I first got this thing. It's an empty tin can. They're just so loud. So I put soundproofing. I spent a lot of time doing this, meticulously sticking this tarry sandproofing stuff. Hear that? That's badass. Now check this out. I stopped here. I did the front half of the van. Isn't that crazy? So from here forward, I did the roof, the floor, the walls, the wheel wells. I did everything. I didn't do the cab in here. I just did, like, from here back to here. The whole thing is soundproofing. Total overkill. I don't think I'd do it again, but you got this amazing solid, like, when you shut the door, you know, you can really hear it. You can just feel that solid sound. Sounds nice. Like when you shut this door, kind of has that, whatever. It's not like you're gonna go around banging on your van, but anyway, cops bang on it sometimes. They've never banged on this one. All right, guys. Thanks for bearing with me with that. I'm just kind of shooting off the cuff. Any other questions? Let me know. Thoughts, ideas.